Hello YouTube. This week BMW carefully handed me the display key to the brand new 540i xDrive. Let's take a look. So first thing we should look at is this display key you've got here. It's kind of big, kind of like a cell phone almost, like the old kind of flip phones, a little bit smaller than that. In here you can see if your car is locked and your windows and stuff, and you can close them, I think, from here as well. You can see your range, your fuel mileage range. You can also set a departure time, so it'll actually kind of turn the fans on. It won't turn the AC on, but it'll turn the fans on to kind of cool off the car in the summer. And the party trick, if you haven't seen, is this self parking mode, or remote parking mode, however you want to call it. It takes a bit. It connects to the car, and see, it didn't work. So it's kind of fussy. I do have a video where I show it moving. You have to be pretty close to the car, and then you can kind of move the car backwards and forward. And I'll try that again in a bit, I think. Let's take a look at the car. It's BMW 5 Series. So, as you would expect, it's stately and luxurious and beautiful to look at. This vehicle has the M package on it. It's not an M series. It's just an M package, which gives you blacked out wheels, larger brakes that are blue and have the M logos on them, and some M badging and that on the interior, as well as the sill plates and things like that. It's also got a bunch of upgrades, Napa leather, executive package, things like that. So this vehicle starts at 69,000 Canadian, and with all the option packages in this one, you're looking at $90,400. So not inexpensive, that's for sure. It's got the kick to open the trunk that I believe Ford was the first to do. So we'll walk over to the trunk here, and I'll show you that. It actually works really well, better than any of the Fords. So down my foot here, give it a kick, lights blink, and it opens. So take a look at the trunk here, and it's got these levers here to flip the seats down, which is nice to have in a luxury car. A lot of the luxury cars, you can't actually flip those rear seats. So flip those down, and it's pretty darn long. I could almost lay down in there. And as I said, you can kick it closed. So if you're carrying a bunch of stuff, you can kick that closed. So I had released those seats. There's the M badging down here. I released those seats, so they're 60/40 with the 60 on the driver's side. And there is a little bit of a hump, but if you have something long to carry, there you go. As you can see, the seats are really nice. They're quilted, piped. They're gorgeous looking. You've got cup holders in here, and a pass-through as well, a ski pass-through that you can use. You've also got, let me hop in here. You've also got heated seats, automatic climate control, and heated seats for the rear passengers here. See, there you go. So you can actually set this, it's 4-zone climate, so you've got each passenger in the rear can set their own temperatures as well. You can do the same thing in the front. A little bit of a cubby hole here. Map pockets on both sides. And privacy blinds as well. And from here you can see there's a sunroof in the front. And you've also got reading lights in the back here as well. So it's a pretty nice place to be in the back. Surprisingly, it's for a large car, they've put a lot of space in the trunk, so there's not a ton of legroom here. There's not much more than the Civic I had last week, actually. Nice speakers, tweeters, covered. It's a Harman Kardon sound system in here. These are nice. And you've got this gray poplar wood as well. And you even have privacy blinds on the little windows, which is kind of rare to see. Just so you can get a view of the front, a nice wide angle view. And then we'll go around front and take a look. One feature I should mention is the soft close of the doors. So if you don't, all the doors work like this. If you don't close it all the way, it'll suck it in, which is really cool. So in the front seat, same thing, a nice M badges along the sill. And these seats, I can't get over these seats, how nice these are. These seats actually have 20-way adjustability. So as you can see, the front leg support comes out, and you can also move the bolsters in and out. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, but this is getting closer, farther away. You can bring up the headrest and bring down the headrest from this, which is really nice. And it also has a massage feature, which you won't see in the video, but I'll show you on the screen. In the driver's seat, of course, the place to be in this car. I'm not sure the camera will pick up the head-up display, but there is a head-up display on there which shows you a ton of information. Maybe on the road it'll grab it. In here you've got an LCD display, which can be modified depending on which modes you are in. This is kind of cool here. Hopefully the camera should get this if it's not blinking. So you have your RPM here, and you see this 1 is larger than these numbers. As you rev the car up, it actually moves along with it, which is really cool. It really makes it obvious what RPM you're in, and the speed does the same. If down here you've got some modes, you've got Comfort, Eco, Pro, and Sport. If I switch the mode to Sport, see the dash switches over to a more racy kind of dash, and it has the M badge in there. Of course, this changes more than that. We'll go over that in a second. And then in Eco Pro, it actually goes, kind of hybrid mode on you, and it doesn't even show you attack. It shows you your fuel economy. You've got your digital shifter here, so no mechanical feel, but it does have a little bit of some muscle to it to grab it. If you just pull it back, it won't do anything except for bing at you. You've got to push the button on the side here, pull it back, and that will switch you into drive. But then after that, you can actually just push up to get to neutral, push once to get into reverse. From reverse, you can actually just pull it back. You don't need to push the button, and you'll get into drive. So that's kind of nice. It's got the auto hold parking brake, as well as an electronic parking brake for if you're stopping on an incline. And traction control off, stability control off there, and camera buttons. And here's your BMW iDrive controls, which I'll use in a minute and show you the screen. Here we've got a split opening center console with a USB and a 12-volt power. And again, those seats, which are really nice. Poplar gray trim all around. And here's that nice LCD screen. Dual zone climate control down here, and your start button. On the steering wheel, which is got the M badging on it. Heated steering wheel, and nice thick, feels good in your hands. Radar cruise control available here. Your voice navigation, phone, and radio controls here. And then you've got your stalks for your signal lights and windshield wipers. And the one thing they've changed this year is the wipers. See if you can see this. See, they actually physically move now. The wipers used to just be a digital switch, and the signal light as well. It'll actually stay up and down now. So that gets rid of that confusion that some people had. And you've got paddle shifters as well if you want to shift it to manually. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission. I guess I haven't mentioned yet, it's a 3-liter single turbo with 335 horsepower, I believe, and 332 pound-feet of torque, something like that. So it's not a I don't know, they call it a 540, but it's not the old V8 engine anymore. Over here you've got this nice sliding cover which has a couple cup holders in it and a QI charger. So if you've got an Android phone with the QI, you can charge it there. And the display key also charges there. So if you throw your display key, which will need to be charged once in a while, you'll see this light goes blue, and there's also a USB to charge your phone there. This vehicle also has Apple CarPlay, but not Android Auto. And Apple CarPlay is a $750 option if you're interested in it. So we've got this beautiful screen up here. This is a reverse camera, and we can see the front camera as well. It gives you a nice view of everything. And there you go. You can actually see the front camera with your steering inputs, as well as the reverse camera with your steering inputs. If you put it in reverse, there you go. There's the reverse camera. And you can see the steering inputs, which really allows you to park easily. And it'll show you here that you're free to open your doors, which is kind of cool. There's a ton of different things in here. I don't really want, I can't go through everything just because there is so much. But you've got your navigation. And we'll hit the map here, which will pop up. So nice big map that you can zoom in and zoom out easily. And you can actually, if I'll show you my fingers here, so you can pinch and zoom like this. So now I'll just see, you can pinch and zoom on this display. And let's say you want to enter a destination. You can go enter destination, and you want to enter an address. And you can speak the address, and I actually used the speech to find something the other day, and it picked it up instantly. I was quite amazed. So on this here, you can click through each letter, and it lets you do this while driving, which is maybe not the safest thing, but it lets you do it, which is nice. But let's say you don't want to spin the dial and keep your eyes on the road instead of this. I'll show you my finger again. Let's say your street started with a T, so you just draw a T.
T.
And there you go. You got T. O.
O. B.
See, it's pretty good. My writing is horrible, and it picks it up pretty darn good.
E.
There you go. Let's go back to, we got under media, so it's got satellite radio, and you can flip through the channels, and it actually shows you, the last track that was playing, the album cover for that, which is cool. You've got your FM radio and things like that, and you can actually add to favorites. So you can add a song or a channel. So you can add a song to the favorite or a channel. So if I added MC Hammer, you can't touch this, to my favorites, then anytime MC Hammer, you can't touch this plays, it'll actually switch the channel to that. I'm not sure how to get rid of them though. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of them. Somebody else set some settings and it seemed to jump around all the time. Tone, so your bass and treble settings, and Logic 7, which sounds amazing. And you can also split the screen in two. Go over to my vehicle just to show you, you can see all these other things like fuel economy. Here's the trip computer. I've averaged 9.6 liters per 100 kilometers. Vehicle settings, you can set door lighting, steering wheel vibration, parking sensors. This is why I can't show you everything. There's just so much. Under connected drive, I will show you this quickly. You can check the weather and see what the weather is going to be like. Oh my God, it's going to be 10 degrees on Monday. Amazing. And you can read the news. It takes a little bit to come up, and then you can do it while driving as well. It won't let you show too many pages while driving. You can't kind of page through, but you can pull up the news and read your morning news on here. So Toronto Blue Jays sign something something something. There you go. It pulls up the whole thing, and you can read the news on here. There you go. You can't do this scrolling while you're driving. It'll only show you the first page. And there you go. So that's the iDrive system, which is a million times better than it used to be. That's for sure. The other thing it can do, if I just put my left hand down and I touch the seat controls, I didn't actually move anything, I just touched it, and when you do that, it now brings this menu up, and it'll show you I'm moving the seat up and down. And I can move the leg thing forward, and I can move the lumbar and things like that, move that around, which is pretty cool. If you hit the massage button, there's a massaging front seats here. So down here on your memory seats, and then you got massage with 3 power settings. So I set that, and it'll show you up here different massages, and the massage is really good. Like, basically I use this every day, and I don't know why you wouldn't, but anyways, on a long drive I think it would be great, you know, use it for half an hour, and then turn it off, and then turn it back on when your butt gets a little bit sore, your back gets a little bit sore. You can use the massage feature. So we've got the sunroof, which I kind of showed. There's no sunglasses holder up here. You've got an SOS button. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention the night vision. So there's a button over here for night vision. You press that, and you see starting night vision, and it'll kind of show you here. You can't really see much here because there's just some snow in front of me and some trees. I will overlay a picture of what I did over my garage door with my wife standing in front, and you'll see that here. So as you can see, it picks up people. I've used it. It picks up deer as well. And when they first show up, they show up kind of bright white, and then they switch to orange whenever the system realizes it's an animal or a person, which is really cool. I saw one deer on the road and it was orange, and then I was like, oh crap, what's that? And then saw 4 other deer on the side of the road, so that got me to slow down. So it actually is useful. It's not just a gimmick, which you might think it would be. So I think that's pretty much everything inside. I know I didn't show you every little setting in there, but there is quite a bit. Let's take it for a drive, and you'll get an idea of what it kind of feels like on the road. So the first thing you'll notice when you head out onto the road in this car is it's powerful. There's a lot of torque. It really pulls, and it pulls effortlessly. Like you can floor it and really get this thing going. I believe the 0 to 60 miles an hour, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is just over 4 seconds. So it is very fast, and this is the xDrive model, so it is all-wheel drive. It's very quiet. There's barely any road noise. This road is a little bit noisier than some of the other roads, and again, another car with winter tires, and it snowed some more again, and we are April now. Yeah, so it's super quiet, but it feels, you know, very solid on the road and very planted. The head-up display here, I'm not sure if it reads the signs on the road. It seems like it does. So it's saying 40 right now because it doesn't know this sign. This is a 60 road. And then when I get to this sign, it switches to 60. I'm hoping the camera can pick it up. It probably can't in the head-up display, but it says 60 kilometers an hour. That shows you the speed. I'll just look down here. You can see it in the dash there. It says 60. So that's kind of cool. So as you're driving along, it'll tell you what speed it is, and the head-up display will change from white if you're not speeding to red if you are speeding. This car seems to have, it's a little bit off on a speedometer. I tested it on the highway. It's about 10K off. So even though it says I'm going like 65 kilometers an hour, I'm actually probably going 50 kilometers an hour or 55 kilometers an hour. The one thing I failed to mention in my overview here is the start-stop. And we'll come to a stop sign, and I'm hoping it's warm enough now that the start-stop will activate. The car basically shuts the engine off almost instantly when you come to a stop. It doesn't wait a second or so. So that's slightly annoying because sometimes you're just going to turn left and there's a car coming, you slow down, you're not quite at a stop, you're about to stop and the engine shuts off, and then you let go of the brake and it has to start back up. So that's a little bit odd. I thought they'd put some kind of delay on there, but it does stop smoother than the old version of their start-stop. The start-stop before, it felt like the car was stalling, not just stopping. And now it actually it kind of shuts off and it starts up really quickly. So come up to a stop sign here, and we'll come to a stop. There you go, and the engine is off and it says ready instead of 0 RPM now. And we'll just make sure nobody's coming. And we'll let go of the brake, and there you go. It started right back up, and away I go again. So it does work pretty smooth and pretty seamlessly. In sport mode, I'm going to try a 0 to 60 launch here, or 0 to 100 launch, and see what it's like. Rev the engine up a bit, off the brake, go. And that's 100 kilometers an hour. It is very fast. So I'm going to try this parking feature again. So we press this parking button. It says connecting to the car. It's gone green. Now it says press the park button on the side and hold it down. So if I press this, it'll say engine start. So engine start. It's applying the brakes and starting the car. Now it's released the brake, and I can move the car forward, and I can move the car backwards. It's the final walk around of the BMW 540i xDrive. This car is more like what it doesn't have rather than what it does have. I didn't mention every single feature that is on here because there is so many of them that I can't actually think of any features it doesn't have. Maybe it doesn't have TVs in the back seat. That's about the only thing it doesn't have. It's got a ton of power. It drives amazingly well. It's got massage seats to keep you comfortable. It's got all the electronic safety gizmos, lane departure warning, lane assist, radar cruise, things like that. It's basically got everything. If you're looking for a beautiful highway cruiser and you've got some money and some status, you should take a look at the BMW 540. It's pretty darn nice.